Right now, before you even go to bed tonight, your body may already be preparing to wake you up. Not because you drank water too late, not because your mattress is bad, and not even because of stress in the way most people think, but because of a silent shift happening inside your cortisol rhythm. Most adults over 60 never see it coming. They close their eyes thinking the night will be normal, only to wake up at 2:17, 3:08, sometimes 4 in the morning, wide awake for no clear reason, staring into the dark while the rest of the house sleeps. And what makes this so frustrating is that it feels random. But it is not random. Research has shown that after 60, nighttime cortisol can rise far higher than it does in younger adults, even without emotional stress. That means your body can quietly enter alert mode, while your mind thinks everything is fine. And when that happens, deep sleep starts to disappear. Melatonin gets blocked. Your brain never fully drops into repair mode. And hour by hour, your body misses the very sleep it needs to protect memory, muscle, immunity, and emotional balance. You may think you slept, but your body never truly recovered. Now here's the good news. There are simple compounds, not sedatives, not expensive sleep stacks, that may help lower nighttime cortisol naturally and help your body remember how to sleep again. And one of them showed a nearly 30% reduction in cortisol in clinical research. Tonight, I will walk you through 5 of the most powerful ones, ranked from the gentlest to the most transformative. Before we begin, tell me this in the comments. How many times did you wake up last night? And if you care about sleeping deeper, thinking clearer, and feeling stronger as you age, like this video, subscribe, and stay with me until number 1. Because that final one may be the missing piece your body has been asking for. Habit number 5. Tart cherry concentrate. This may be the one most people overlook because it seems too simple to matter. But sometimes the quietest remedy is the one your body responds to best. Tart cherry concentrate has become known for muscle recovery, especially among athletes. But for older adults struggling with restless nights, its most interesting effect may have nothing to do with exercise at all. It has to do with sleep. Tart cherries, especially the Montmorency variety, are one of the few natural food sources associated with melatonin support. But what makes tart cherry truly useful is not just that it contains a little melatonin. It also helps protect the pathway your body uses to make its own. That is important, because after 60, the goal is not just to force sleep from the outside. It is to help the body rebuild a natural rhythm from within. Tart cherry contains plant compounds that help preserve tryptophan, the amino acid involved in making serotonin and then melatonin. At the same time, those same compounds help calm inflammation, and when inflammation settles down, cortisol often becomes easier to regulate. This is one reason many people report that tart cherry does not feel like a sleep drug. It feels gentler than that. It feels like the body slowly remembering what nighttime is supposed to feel like. To use it, mix 1 tablespoon of pure tart cherry concentrate into a small glass of warm water about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. That warmth matters more than most people realize. It turns the drink into a ritual, and ritual itself can become a signal of safety to the nervous system. The most common mistake is buying sweetened cherry juice and assuming it is the same thing. It is not. You want concentrated tart cherry, not a sugary cocktail. For many seniors, this becomes the easiest place to begin, a small habit that feels manageable, soothing, and surprisingly effective within the first week. And if this one feels gentle, wait until you hear what number 4 does to the nervous system itself. Habit number 4, raw cacao powder. Now this one surprises almost everyone. Because the moment people hear the word chocolate, they assume stimulation, sugar, and staying awake. But raw cacao is not the same as the processed cocoa powder sitting on a grocery shelf. In its pure form, raw cacao is one of the richest natural sources of magnesium, a mineral that plays a major role in relaxation, nervous system balance, and healthy sleep rhythms. And for many older adults, magnesium is exactly where the problem begins. When magnesium levels are low, the body has a harder time calming down. Muscles stay tighter. The mind becomes easier to overstimulate. And cortisol can remain elevated longer than it should at night. That is why raw cacao can feel so different from what people expect. Instead of acting like a dessert, it can work like a nightly exhale. Its magnesium helps calm the body, while its flavonoids support circulation, reduce inflammation, and help the brain feel less trapped in that tired but alert state that keeps so many people awake after midnight. This matters especially for seniors who say, "My body feels exhausted, but my brain won't shut off." That is the exact kind of person who may benefit from this. To use it, stir 1 tablespoon of organic raw cacao powder into warm milk or a warm plant-based milk about an hour before bed. A pinch of cinnamon and a little honey can make it feel comforting instead of medicinal. And that emotional detail matters. Because when something feels like comfort, you are far more likely to stay consistent with it. The biggest mistake here is using Dutch processed cocoa, which loses many of the helpful compounds during processing. You want raw, unprocessed cacao. For older adults, this can become more than a bedtime drink. It can replace late-night snacking, bring emotional comfort, and create a calming bridge between the stress of the day and the rest the body is craving. But if raw cacao relaxes the body, number 3 goes after something even deeper. It helps calm the inflammatory fire that keeps cortisol elevated in the first place. Habit number 3, golden milk turmeric paste. If your body has felt tense for so long that calm almost feels unfamiliar, this one may speak to you. Golden milk is often seen as a cozy traditional drink. Warm, comforting, beautiful in color. But hidden inside that deep golden glow is one of the most studied natural compounds for inflammation, mood balance, and stress regulation. That compound is curcumin. And what makes curcumin so relevant to sleep is that many sleep problems are not just sleep problems. They are inflammation problems. They are stress chemistry problems. They are nervous system overload problems. When the body remains inflamed, it keeps sending signals that something is wrong. And when those alarm signals stay on too long, cortisol often rises with them, including at night, when the body should be winding down. Curcumin helps lower those signals. It supports a calmer internal environment, one where the brain no longer feels pushed to stay on guard. It also helps support mood and brain function, which matters because long periods of poor sleep can affect memory, emotional resilience, and mental clarity in very real ways. But this is where most people go wrong. They sprinkle turmeric into food and expect miracles. The body absorbs very little turmeric on its own. That is why the preparation method matters. To make golden milk properly, warm turmeric gently with a small amount of coconut oil or another healthy fat, and add black pepper. This dramatically improves absorption. Then stir 1 tablespoon of the prepared paste into warm milk and drink it about 45 minutes before bed. Done this way, it stops being a trendy drink. It becomes a delivery system. For many older adults, golden milk creates a powerful association with slowing down. The cup is warm. The color is calming. The ritual feels ancient in the best possible way. The biggest mistake is skipping the pepper or the fat and losing most of the benefit. And once you understand that, number 2 becomes even more exciting. Because number 2 does not just calm inflammation. It helps send a direct biological message to the brain that sleep is safe to begin. Habit number 2, glycine-rich bone broth. This is where things start to get really interesting. Because bone broth does not usually show up in sleep conversations. People think of it as something for the gut, the joints, or the immune system. And yes, it may support all of those things. But for nighttime cortisol and sleep depth, its hidden strength lies in one specific amino acid, glycine. Glycine may be one of the most underrated bedtime nutrients for older adults. Not because it knocks you out, but because it helps the body shift into sleep in a way that feels natural, biological, and deeply intelligent. One of the ways it does this is by helping lower core body temperature. That may sound small, but it is one of the strongest sleep signals the body has. When the body cools internally, the brain interprets that as a sign that it is time to rest. That is why a cool room feels sleepy. That is why heavy blankets can feel comforting. And that is why glycine can be so effective. It works with the body's existing sleep machinery rather than trying to overpower it. At the same time, glycine also acts as a calming neurotransmitter, helping quiet the kind of internal overactivity that makes a person feel tired in the body but alert in the mind. To use it, take 1 tablespoon of concentrated bone broth, or sip a small cup of rich, gelatinous broth about 30 minutes before bed. If the broth turns jelly-like in the refrigerator, that is usually a good sign. It means the gelatin content is high, and that often points to better glycine levels. The biggest mistake is choosing weak broth with little actual collagen or gelatin. Good broth feels substantial. For seniors, this can become a powerful bedtime signal. Warm, savory, grounding, deeply nourishing. It does not feel like a hack. It feels like being taken care of. And that feeling matters. Because the nervous system sleeps best when it feels safe. Now, if bone broth tells the body it is safe to rest, number 1 helps teach the entire stress system to stop overreacting in the first place. Habit number 1. Ashwagandha root infusion. If there is one compound on this list with the potential to change the entire conversation around sleep after 60, this is it. Ashwagandha is not just about bedtime. It is about the system behind bedtime. Many older adults think poor sleep begins at night, but often it begins much earlier. It begins in a body that has spent years staying a little too tense, a little too vigilant, a little too ready for stress. And when that pattern goes on long enough, the nervous system forgets how to fully power down. That is where ashwagandha stands apart. Ashwagandha has been studied for its ability to help reduce cortisol, support stress resilience, and improve sleep quality. What makes it so powerful is that it works farther upstream than most remedies. It does not just help with the feeling of sleepiness. It helps regulate the HPA axis, the stress response network connecting the brain and adrenal glands. In plain English, it helps the body stop sounding the alarm so often. That changes everything. Because a body that stops overreacting during the day often sleeps better at night. Ashwagandha also supports calming neurotransmitter activity, helping the brain shift away from internal tension and toward repair, quiet, and rest. To prepare it traditionally, simmer 1 tablespoon of ashwagandha root powder in warm milk or coconut milk for about 5 minutes over low heat. Add a small pinch of black pepper, a little cinnamon, and a touch of honey after it cools slightly. Drink it 30 to 45 minutes before bed. The biggest mistake is giving up too early. Some people feel better within days, but the deeper benefits often build over weeks, not hours. And that is exactly why this one earns the number 1 spot. Because for seniors, this is not just about falling asleep faster tonight. It is about helping the body relearn calm. And when the body relearns calm, sleep stops feeling like a nightly battle. It starts feeling natural again. So tonight, we walked through 5 simple compounds that may help lower nighttime cortisol and support deeper, more restorative sleep after 60. First was Tart Cherry Concentrate, a gentle way to support your body's natural melatonin pathway and help rebuild a more peaceful rhythm at night. Second was Raw Cacao Powder, rich in magnesium and calming plant compounds that help relax both body and mind. Third was Golden Milk Turmeric Paste, helping quiet the inflammatory signals that can keep the nervous system stuck in stress mode. Fourth was Glycine-Rich Bone Broth, sending one of the body's clearest messages that it is safe to cool down, soften, and rest. And number 1 was Ashwagandha Root Infusion, the most powerful of them all because it helps calm the deeper stress system that drives cortisol in the first place. What makes these compounds so meaningful is not that they force sleep. It is that they support the conditions that allow real sleep to return. And that kind of sleep changes more than the night. It changes the morning. It changes your energy. It changes your patience, your memory, your balance, your immune strength, and sometimes even your hope. Because when you sleep deeply again, you start feeling like yourself again. So here's my question for you. Which of these 5 will you try first? Pick just one and tell me in the comments below. And if this video helped you, like it, share it with someone who keeps waking up in the middle of the night, and subscribe for more science-backed ways to sleep deeper, age stronger, and feel calmer in your own body. Thank you so much for